it.
Hi.
Hello.
So as people out there might not know you at present, we've got to start with all these basic questions like, for what's Linkin Park? Was it a place where you hung around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And yes, Linkin Park?
Don't address any questions to him.
Okay.
He's not really guy.
Okay. And who's the clever one?
He'll be the serious one for this interview.
Okay.
I'm the smart one.
He's the smart one and he's the serious one.
So, like, yeah, Linkin Park, a place where you hung around?
It's a place in Santa Monica in Los Angeles. It's named after the American president, Abraham Lincoln. We spelled it differently so that we could get the web domain name for a far cheaper price.
Far
fewer Deutschmarks.
And the thing is, it's everywhere, in every town there is this Linkin Park, so it's like being the town's band.
Actually, ironically, like the cool thing is like when we show up, like when we toured the States, everywhere we went, we were like locals. Like all the kids would come up and be like, "Hey, dude, we live in Linkin Park too, man. Which street did you grow up on?" And we're just like,
the joke was that we could never be like a professional band because we were always a local band.
And the fact that we can't really play our instrument.
yeah.
Ah ja.
Especially Brad.
Okay.
Especially me.
Linkin Park, das ist ein Park in LA, wo sie mal abgehangen sind, und Linkin Park gibt es auch überall, und das ist auch ganz cool, weil in jeder Stadt, wo sie kommen, meinen die jungen Leute dort immer wieder, das ist eine regionale Band, aber nein, Linkin Park ist international. So what was before Linkin Park? Yeah, that fits quite good together. It's like glamorous.
Do you want to trade later and maybe I'll use some of your nail polish?
Yeah,
And
I'll lend you. I could lend you some lipstick as well, and we could do like a makeup session. But
Or
before that,
we could say that we did it, and then we could really have Chester put on lipstick, because I think you look a lot better.
Brad
like
looks really good in a dress.
like a rouge.
so you've got all this feminine stuff around
Right,
here.
that's because
so
I'm
you-
very secure with my sexuality.
So what was before Linkin Park? Any transvestite shows or something like that? Nothing?
No, that's why we
No.
call the band Hybrid Theory, because Brad was kind of a hybrid between a man and a woman.
It was originally hermaphrodite theory.
Yeah. No, but some of you guys met in school. Some of
Yeah,
you went
we
to
actually
college.
we all pretty much met in school, except for Chester. He's the outcast.
He didn't go to
I
school.
dropped out of school.
He didn't.
Third
But
grade.
if he did go to school, we would have met him in school too. Brad and I had known each other since we were about 13. Joe and I met in college. Brad and Phoenix met in college. And Rob and Brad and I went to high school in the same area.
Okay.
And Chester.
And they
we
found
met
me in a
through mutual-
desert 600 miles away.
You know, it was like something you were looking for a singer, and then you were there.
They were looking for a singer, and they had been auditioning singers for like almost 4 months in LA, and every vocalist in LA did not pass the test, so they had to seek elsewhere. And we had a mutual friend, Scott Harrington, who called me up and said, you know, I have a band, you should really just check it out, and I'll send you a demo, and he did, and within a matter of days, I had cut my version of the demo and sent it in, and I was in LA, and they kept me there ever since, chained in the studio.
Oh, so here we are. Also wie sie zusammengekommen sind, die meisten hier kennen sich ja schon aus der Schule, und Chester ist dazugekommen, wie sie nach einem Sänger Ausschau gehalten haben. Die haben eben einen gemeinsamen Freund, und er kommt aus Arizona, die anderen kommen alle aus LA. Und weiter geht's hier mit Linkin Park im Hintergrund, einer der lacht und der Hamburger Hafen. Und ich sitze jetzt hier mit den Herren. So,
I've got two ways I can wear my hat, and
show us.
I kind of want. I know we can't get immediate feedback, but maybe people who go to our website, linkinpark.com, and tell us. There's this way where you don't see my eyebrows, and then there's this way.
Wow, this
So
looks so different.
We could get some kind of like response from the German public as to which is more flattering.
I write you this stuff. So, also ihr habt gehört, ihr könnt ihm schreiben, wie er seinen Hut zu tragen hat, entweder über den Augenbrauen oder nicht, aber ist ja auch ein Schmarrn. Jetzt reden wir mal über die Platte. So, Hybrid Theory.
Who gave him hash browns this morning?
Yeah, so,
Tell everybody that we think that Brad's on drugs.
Ja, er soll auf Drogen sein, aber ich weiß nicht, ich glaube, der ist immer so. Und jetzt reden wir mal über die Platte. So, let's talk about this record. It's a hybrid between rap, rock and electronic thing. Is it like everybody of you get this hybrid taste in music, or are there any masters of rock, any masters of rap, or how does it work?
I think we all like a lot of different things. We may have a little more practice in one thing than others, but we definitely are being distracted by our DJ.
Yeah. So there
are bands that like, and musical taste that we all have in common, but then each of us kind of brings to the table something different that he listened to growing up and has like shared that with the rest of the group.
And what's the unique thing where you all fit together like bands you all like?
What bands do we like in common? Well, I think for each of us, one of our favorite bands is the Deftones, and the fact that they asked us to tour with them in March here in Europe is like, I still don't believe it. Like, I won't believe it until we play our first show. And then other bands that we think are great are Incubus, Papa Roach, who we also toured with. And we're taking out two groups actually on our headlining tour in the United States. One's called Taproot, and one is called Styles of Beyond. They're more of an underground rap group from Los Angeles.
Also, sie machen ja mehr so den hybriden Sound, das heißt, sie mischen Rap und Rock und dann auch elektronische Elemente. Es ist so, dass sie alle irgendwie den gleichen Musikgeschmack haben. Also Bands, die sie irgendwie alle verehren, ist zum Beispiel Papa Roach und Deftones. Mit den Deftones werden sie jetzt auch im Februar auf Tour sein. So, the cover art is really, really interesting, and I think it's one of the best covers I really saw. Really.
Thank you. I did too, that's why I got it tattooed on my leg.
Really?
Show the camera.
You also can show your
You want to see the tattoo?
Yeah. Oh.
Look at my skinny chicken legs.
Wow, that's great. That's really cool. Also, you can see here, cover. Komm mal hier, komm mal. So it's a soldier with butterfly wings.
The thing about the cover that we wanted to do is that obviously a lot of people are familiar with a musical hybrid. We wanted something that was more us, that was more personal, and so we you know, being that we mixed heavier sounds and more sensitive elements in our music, we wanted to do something with the soldier being the heavier thing and the dragonfly wings being more delicate.
And Mike drew this.
It's also like the sound of your music, like the voice is sometimes so soft and so nice, and that's a butterfly thing, and it's all of it.
Right.
Smash it, yeah. So, die Coverart. Sie haben sich ja Folgendes ausgedacht, die Musik, die ist ja zum Teil doch sehr, sehr weich und sehr etwas fürs Herz, eben die Stimme auch, die eben sehr sanft auch oft ist. Drum halt diese Flügel und der Soldat, der spiegelt halt dann mehr so die Rock-Elemente so voll auf die Fresse, weil das ist nämlich auch bei Linkin Park. So, Linkin Park, mit denen geht's hier weiter, hier in Hamburg für euch. So, we are just living in Nukiland. There are all these bands out, like 28 Days. There are Limp Bizkit, there is Papa Roach, and what do you think about this big development in crossover music?
I think that the development of the crossover music is just like another evolution that's taking place in music itself. It's not like a phenomenon that just like kind of came out of nowhere. These bands that have made it have kind of made it on their own because they didn't really have much of an influence or something to kind of look up to with those similar styles. It's all kind of been original, and that's why I think we all sound so different. It's kind of odd to be lumped in the same genre with bands like the Deftones and Incubus and Limp Bizkit and Korn and Slipknot, and then us, Linkin Park. I don't think any of the bands sound anything alike at all, but we all share a common thread, and that is that we are mixing something and we're trying something different.
Yeah, the difference is what I found at the first, like when I first heard it, is like, especially your voice, it's so different. It's so, you know, it's like a real voice, so you could sing, and most of them are just like, oh, you know, this screaming, and yours is more, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so there's a difference. Which difference do you guys see in your music to the others?
I think the main difference is just simply the fact that I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but we really tried to avoid talking about any type of political situation, and we avoided any violence, and we also unconsciously didn't use any vulgarity on our record. And I think that those are things that kind of really step out, especially lyrically, because kids can appreciate, they seem to appreciate our honesty in our lyrics rather than just kind of coming up with something to try to sound tough or sound like you know what you're talking about. So.
Ja, also wir leben ja jetzt zurzeit gerade im Nuki-Land. Das heißt, es gibt ganz viele Bands wie 28 Days, Limp, Bizkit und POD, wie sie denn alle heißen. Sie sehen ihren Unterschied darin, dass sie nicht unbedingt mit politischen Meinungen um sich schleudern müssen, um irgendwelche Leute an sich zu ziehen. Nein, sie versuchen halt mehr so vom Leben selbst zu erzählen. Und Linkin Park, also Chester hat ja auch eine hervorragende Stimme, die im Vergleich zu den anderen dann doch mehr auf Melodie Wert gelegt wird. So, do you think at present it's easier to do a crossover thing? Like that the people are open-minded for it, or is it more difficult because there are so many crossover bands out there?
I think it's difficult to find good crossover bands. I think that the companies have done a real good job at selecting them because, I mean, it's not a very simple task. It takes a lot. We've worked very, very hard, diligently, at making sure that our parts flow well together, that there isn't just a hip-hop part and then the rock part and then the electronica interlude, you know? We really wanted everything to be fluent, and that's not something that's easy, and you can't just spend a couple hours a day, a couple times a week doing that. It really took a lot of our time and energy, and I think that the more music and the more bands that people are exposed to that do crossover, we're going to see a surgence of that even more so in the future. So.
Okay, wo Sie auch Ihren Unterschied sehen, ist das, dass Sie mit Ihrer Musik halt jetzt nicht unbedingt, dass man, wenn man jetzt ein Lied hört, aha, jetzt kommt also der Rap-Part und jetzt kommt der Rock-Part. Sie versuchen das alles irgendwie schön, dass das schön in sich reingeht und schöne Übergänge sind, und die Plattenindustrie, die bringt da zurzeit ganz, ganz viele verschiedene solcher Bands raus, aber Sie glauben eben durch das, dass Sie anders sind in Ihrer Musik, wird sich da auch einiges für Sie tun.
More MCs and DJs, usually plays 8 out of 7 days. In many ways, I've seen a lot go around. Pound for pound, from SD to boogie down. We've been around, about as round as they come. From all of these girls to dumb, did he come dumb? See, this is my philosophy on the industry, that there ain't no other brothers about as bad as we. You see, my squad stays on point. Rock this funky joint, and you dig it. Set me up. Here we go.
So, meine Lieben, hier geht es noch weiter mit Linkin Park hier in Hamburg, im Hintergrund der wunderbare Hafen. So, Chester, I once heard that you said in an interview that since you learned talking, you were telling the people that you want to become a singer.
Yes.
And that's really nice, and I think that sounds very optimistic, and that's a bit of American philosophy that they, you know, they've got this go for it thing. And do you think that sometimes people have their worst enemies in themselves, like giving themselves borderlines?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest weaknesses of being a person, just in general as a human being, is the feeling that you know, we're all a little bit insignificant in the large picture of things, and which is completely untrue. That every person can be as powerful and as they want to be, or as weak as they want to be. It's just, you know, the drive is in everybody, and I think everyone can accomplish anything they want to do in their lives.
Do you think everyone's talented in their own ways?
Absolutely. I think it's just a way of finding it and having the support to you know, get that talent out and push you. Because sometimes, I mean, even though I've been determined to do this my entire life, there have been times where I needed my friends or my family or my loved ones to kind of keep pushing me on and say, keep doing it, you know. So through all of those things combined, I think people, everyone can accomplish amazing things, you know.
Ja, ihr könnt alles erreichen, wenn ihr nur an euch glaubt, weil er hat damals schon als kleiner Junge gesagt, bevor er richtig reden können hat, so ich werde Sänger, und hat fest daran geglaubt, und jetzt ist er auch hier. Und das ist ja auch so ein bisschen so eine amerikanische Philosophie, dass man halt mehr so sagt, go for it, mach es einfach, und so, yeah, it's this American philosophy, go for it, which is like, I've got some friends in America, and always when I'm talking about new plans and projects I want to do, they also, yeah, do it, and Europeans are more like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's definitely, there's definitely a vibe about just American culture throughout the history. Just, it's been a place where, you know, from the beginning, a place where people go to start over.
That's really
and try something new. And I think that, you know, still stands pretty strong in our society, and there's a lot of freedom to do things and express yourselves in a lot of different ways. So, you know, we've just been lucky. To get those things and the dreams accomplished, you know.
Die amerikanische Philosophie von wegen, ja, man kann alles erreichen, erklärte sich dadurch, dass ja Amerika ist ja auch irgendwann mal entstanden worden, und die ganzen Einwanderer, die haben ja auch was schaffen müssen, und es ist eben ein wunderbarer Kontinent draus geworden. So, meine lieben Turok-Zuschauer, jetzt geht es dem Ende zu. Ich habe gerade Bizkit gesehen, und weiter geht's hier mit Linkin Park in Hamburg. So, what's coming up next? There is this Deftones tour. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we're going to be in Europe for the whole month of March with the Deftones and I believe Taproot. All the dates for those shows I know will be on our website, which is linkinpark.com. And really this week's been our first introduction to playing Europe, and we're really excited to come back in March and keep coming back.
What do you think so far of Germany?
Germany's great.
Mm-hmm.
We did a couple days in Paris, and we've only been in Germany for about just 6 to 8 hours, but
And we've been in this building the entire time.
Okay, this building is great.
no, so
But the view, I mean, seriously, the view, I'm so glad they put us in this
awesome.
building, because the view, we've seen the entire, all of Hamburg from this one room, from this one building, and it's really incredible.
and so far our experience with German McDonald's has been super.
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 Super. What happened there?
We had McDonald's.
Yeah, we finally had American.
Also in Deutschland gefällt es Ihnen, bei McDonald's gefällt es Ihnen, Sie hatten einfach nur ein paar Burger. Sie sind jetzt erst seit 8 Stunden hier, also kann man auf das Urteil jetzt noch nicht so viel Wert legen, aber soweit gefällt es Ihnen. Sie waren zuvor in Paris, werden aber im Februar mit den Deftones kommen. And any personal wishes? Anything like?
No more fromage.
I have mad cow disease.
Sorry?
I have mad cow disease.
You oh. And how does it look like? You start screaming or
I don't know.
you don't know? Also, ja.
That's why Joe's in the band.
Ja. Okay.
That's
Comic relief.
That's the only reason.
Comic relief.
Anything else? What should happen with you? Like the Grammy?
Yeah, we're gonna win every category in the Grammys.
Including Best Country Artist.
We're also
even though we're
also
not
gonna have
Chester's gonna win Best Female Artist.
yeah, I'm gonna win. Yeah, I'm gonna
Best
win the
Solo Female Artist.
yeah, and also we're gonna take over every music video station in the entire planet, and they will play strictly Linkin Park
Our only video.
And polka.
Our
videos.
only video.
And yeah,
Over and over.
Yeah, we're starting a new hybrid of polka-core music.
Polka core. That's
Which is like,
interesting.
yeah, we're gonna start incorporating polka beats with our hip hop, rock stuff.
Yeah, so when we take over every countdown and video station, we're gonna play our video and polka core
Polka core.
over and over.
That's
all
cool.
day.
Anything about the moon or something like that? Or
Just polka
the
core.
world now. Okay.
I was
Don't
not informed
confuse
of
it.
any of this. Nobody ever told me.
That's because you've got mad cow disease and your days are numbered.
Yeah, your days are numbered. You're
We're
gonna
gonna have a
die.
replacement for you.
Der arme Kerl, der hat ohne Scheiß BSI. Und Jungs, die werden auf die Welt rocken, die wollen nämlich Polka-Core machen. Also so ein Hybrid aus Polka und Hardcore-Crossover-Thing. Ja, es wird einiges passieren, wir werden noch viel von Ihnen hören, Talent haben Sie. Ihr seht jetzt noch was von dem Talent, nämlich jetzt hier Linkin Park für euch live. Und that was it. You can say bye-bye to the audience.
Oh, bye-bye.
Bye, audience.
Bye, mwah. Bye-bye.
The ups and downs, foolish and manifesting a perpetual sound. No wheels go round, and the sunset breeze behind you. Concrete, remember now, it's like the picture was in. When the papers go on, it can be perfect looking. From the top to the bottom, side by side, the core,
Thank you.